Stock up, stock down from the Combine. Who we got? I honestly have a lot of this on my DVR. Still got to get through. Try to spend some time with the family. By the way, Monster Jam was awesome. I know you guys were all wondering. Mm-hmm. But stock up, stock down from the NFL Combine. Let's go stock up first, okay? 3 players that we are highlighting here. Rome Odunze, of course. That's Xavier Worthy, who's worthy of having the Y on his name.
Worth. These things happen.
Hey man, you run a 4.21. You get your full name on the.
He was so fast.
Screen, I think.
Fastest.
He's worth the first round pick though.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's worth drafting Worthy. 4.21.
Fastest in Combine history.
That was an awesome moment.
That was, and I know people crap on the Combine, but when you see things like that happen, that's what it's all about.
And
right
actually, it might have been a moment that was worthy of waking Carm up if he had been sleeping there, because actually the crowd got into it.
Yeah.
He was running around. It seemed very cool. I want to go back to Rome Odunze real quick, too, though. Look, best press conference of the week, in my opinion, Rome Odunze.
He was awesome.
Did you guys see what happened Saturday night after he didn't reach the number he wanted to on the 3-cone?
This was great.
Wouldn't leave.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Neither did I.
I didn't know that you could just be like, I don't like my time. I'm going to run it until I get it. But the NFL Network was there. Jimmy Erdahl and Stacey Dales were covering it. They did extra coverage over it, and he was trying to get his number. He didn't get his number. But just the fact that he refused to leave, I mean, that's the type of dedication that really, I think, proves the point. Did it really matter if you're 0.2 off? He ran his 40 in plenty of time. It was like a 4.45, I want to say off the top of my head. That answered that straight line speed question. Rome Odunze, stock up, baby.
Yeah, he was impressive in all aspects, whether it was on the field or in his press conference where he said he definitely couldn't land a plane and all souls will perish, which was an awesome moment.
Comment of the week.
Yeah, no doubt. Rome Odunze, a huge fan.
Well, unfortunately for the Bears, by the way, on that stock up, it seems like he's going top 5, top 6, top 7.
I was going to say the Bears actually need to stock down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
to get him to number 9.
So that's not
what a duo, man. I'm telling you right now, if they draft Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze on that first night at the draft party,
oh my gosh,
you're going to see an Adam Hoge you've never seen before.
Can someone record that? Because I'll be at Hallis Hall and I won't be able to see.
It doesn't seem likely at this point, but you never know. By the way, yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, we also had Dallas Turner stock up as well, measured in.
I mean, a 4.46 40 at the
4.46 40 plus vertical. God. Plus, he's got the longest wingspan anyone's ever seen at the position.
Yeah, 34 and 3/8 inch arms, freakish athlete who can also get after quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of guys I like at 9, and there's some offensive tackles. I
would
not. If you're gonna draft Caleb Williams, man, you got to make sure that
everything's right.
So
intact.
Let's say Rome is gone. Let's say Marvin's gone, and Turner's there at 9. What are you doing?
Wait, say that again.
I'm saying Rome Odunze's gone. I'm saying obviously Marvin's gone.
And Neighbors, the other.
Nope, Neighbors is there.
Oh.
Okay, well that brings us to stock down.
Yeah.
Stock down players because, look, there's some players like Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. that can get away with being picky about what information they're going to give away. I heard this from a couple people that just simply did not like the Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels, by the way, they refused to measure. It's one thing not to do the medicals, but they wouldn't even get their height and weight measured.
It's weird.
And that's, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to make too big of a deal of all this. It's a new era. These guys coming in have all dealt with NIL now. They've had agents for 3 years. It's a different era that we're dealing with at the Combine. But Neighbors didn't work out, but he wouldn't even measure. And I brought this up once before, just my own personal thing. I'm still not trying to make too big of a deal out of it. But I totally understand guys that skip their bowl games. I didn't like how he played in his bowl game until he got the receiving record and then stopped playing. Yeah. It just says I'm about the records. I'm not about winning. It's one thing about, I don't want to get hurt before the draft. It's a meaningless bowl game. And it's just I'm sure he's going to get asked about that in meetings. And I just would be very curious about what his answer is. So
I like talking to him. I thought he was great at his podium. There's nothing not likable there. The not measuring's weird, and that what you just brought up as far as getting the record, that feels more to the athlete of today.
Maybe, and
That's a good point.
that does not mean I'm I'm out on Neighbors. I'm just like, if the Bears end up drafting him, I still think he's a phenomenal player. He clearly is. Trust me, they were playing Wisconsin in that game. He got that record very fast.
Yeah,
it was not hard because he's very good at football. But we're talking about just the combine. There are some guys that did really well in the week, and there's others that came out with questions. I just think Malik Neighbors created more questions about himself than answers.
I think too, like with those three receivers too at the top with Odunze, Harrison, and Neighbors. Would you want like your physical measurements to kind of stack up with those? Maybe it can hurt you, maybe it can't, maybe depending on how you look at it. But you're trying to stack with the top guys in the draft. I could see it going both ways, but obviously Neighbors didn't go that route. So we have
your
him stuck
height
down.
is your height. Like,
yeah, that's true.
what are you stretching yourself out between now and your pro day to get a little taller? I mean, maybe your weight. I understand.
He's trying to compete with Caleb and showing that if he's not going to do that, then I'm not going to do this because I'm Malik Neighbors. How's that?
Yeah,
there's a terrible take by me. First one ever.
Conspiracy.
But what? It's weird.
Yeah. All right. We also had Cameron Kitchens on our stock down list. Nick, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, Cameron Kitchens. I mean, I think, when you look at his, RAS score, the relative athletic score, he did not test very well at all. He ran a 4.65 in the 40, and he has he's listed at 5'11", 203 pounds. So he's not the biggest guy, obviously not the fastest guy. Again, this is where maybe you can fall into a trap though, because I think how he plays on film is better than obviously what he's going to test out measure-wise, because the instincts are there. He can definitely tackle. He makes plays on the football, but just isn't, I guess, quote-unquote, the best athlete. But it doesn't help to run a 4.65 40 in a safety class that's not relatively deep at all. He could have separated himself if he had done better in some of those kind of metrics at the combine, but that wasn't the case. Still really like him as a football player, though.
Let's
Dynamite drop.
He also worked out with Eddie Jackson. Another thing.
No, it's for real. Yeah, he struggled a little bit. And then we also had Johnny Newton from Illinois on there as well.
Johnny.
Who's going by Johnny?
I would just caution on the stock up and stock down period from the combine to nothing happened in any major way that really should impact dudes shooting up or shooting down, in my opinion. It wasn't
Jalen Carter's combine.
Right, exactly. There was no
Jalen. Ended before it started.
Yeah.
There was no Jalen Carter. Sure. I know that people were like, "Oh, J.J. McCarthy wasn't as accurate as he could have been," and same thing with Bo Nix. Showed exactly what he was showed before. Didn't throw the ball well downfield.
He's not good.
It wasn't good, but that's what he's been. Like, it's like the same thing. Yeah. So I got it.
Bo Nix guy.
Penix looked great. Best thrower out there. Does that mean he's shooting up? I doubt it. I think they know exactly who he is. So he's not going in the top three. We heard a ton about Jaden Daniels moving up to number 1. A bunch of people were saying that. I heard it from like different corners late at night. Also, like, actually, from people standing around who should know things. And does anybody actually believe that he's going to go by Caleb Williams? I would be stunned beyond stunned.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Real quickly, shout out to Joe Milton, the Tennessee quarterback. If they just need a guy to throw the deep ball at the combine every single year, can that just be Joe Milton's job? Because cannon.
He was just dropping it with the flick of a wrist like 70 yards.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
The problem with Joe Milton is he doesn't have a different speed.
No, it's that all the damn time.
You could sign him. You could sign him as your Hail Mary quarterback.
Go in there,
That'd be
Joe.
a good job.
Yeah, I mean,
and you don't need to sub Nathan Peterman in there for Tyson Bagent.
I forgot they did that. That happened.
That's the thing that happened.
We all silly like the mayor.